This is episode 7 of Spilling the TikTok Tea, where we are talking all things TikTok, sharing our top tips. And every week we have a different business owner on the series. So today we've got Shannon from Get Personal. Shannon, if you want to kind of tell everyone about your business and let everyone know what you do and how you started on TikTok.
Yeah, so obviously I'm Get Personal. We sell safety sets and feel-good products. We're all things mental health. We support charities and we also work with a lot of other small businesses as well that sell mental health related gift items. I actually wrote down the day I uploaded my first TikTok video, which was actually the 1st of July 2020. Yeah. I know I uploaded videos before that, but I was very anxious about TikTok for ages and I kept deleting them. But that's like the official video that I uploaded where I didn't delete it.
So it's taken you 2.5 years then to get to 115,000 followers. Basically, I'm going to be interviewing Shannon on how she has grown her TikTok for their business from 0 to 115,000 followers. We'll be talking about content styles, going live, and just kind of overall tips and tricks to grow a community, to sell products and to grow that following on TikTok. So first question, what was it that actually inspired you in the first place to start posting on TikTok?
Well, when I first started, that's when TikTok was becoming a thing. For ages, people had talked about TikTok and I was like, isn't that what kids use? Because my job before this, I worked with looked after children, so I worked with children all the time and they would always talk about TikTok and TikTok dances. So I never really took it seriously until I downloaded it, became addicted, and then I saw someone blow up. It was their small business and they was making jewellery with resin. I saw that and was like, oh my God, like the video wasn't even amazing. I should have saved it, but I just remember seeing it and thinking, how has that blown up the way it has? And then that's what inspired me to start. And it was obviously lockdown as well a few months later. And I was just like, no, I'm going to do it. I remember saving it and thinking, well, she's done it and she's doing it well. She's doing good, so I'm going to do it.
What you've been able to since achieve, you've obviously been able to grow a huge following, and it is kind of nice that you've got something that did inspire you in the first place and something to kind of look back on. So our next question is, has TikTok had an impact on your business in terms of kind of generating sales, generating customer relationships, things like that?
100%. I would not be in the position that I was in now if it wasn't for TikTok. I wouldn't be full-time. I wouldn't have a unit. I probably still wouldn't even be doing it if I'm completely honest with you. I did things before I ran a business. On Depop, I used to do second-hand clothing and I swapped all my wardrobe out and I made quite a bit of money from it, but I gave it up after a couple of months because I got bored. So there was little things that I did here and there, but I just got bored of it. Like I never saw the growth like I did on TikTok, and that's what's kept me going. I think I know who I am as a person, but I think when you're running a business and it is really slow in terms of, let's just say, a couple of sales a week or a month and your followers go up by about 10 or 20 a month, you do just sort of lose interest and you haven't got that passion. Whereas what happened with me on TikTok, it gave me the drive and it made me notice skills I didn't even know I had. So it got me to persist and carry on because I was like, God, it's actually going somewhere.
Yeah, once you do start posting on TikTok and you do see that ability to get seen by thousands, if not millions of people and potential customers, the possibilities with that are endless, and you don't really get that opportunity with things like Instagram and Facebook to the same extent. So it definitely is, from our perspective, and I assume yours, definitely something that businesses should consider within their social media strategy. It's huge, the potential of TikTok. There are so many different industries, so many different niches and businesses and different products. And it's really good as well that, the way the algorithm works does allow people to reach their dream customers and their dream clients just by kind of basing the content that they're consuming. So going on from kind of talking about strategy, have you got a specific TikTok strategy?
I think when I first started, it was so easy to go viral on TikTok. Like I was looking back, when I looked at the date of my first video, I was looking at my views and it was so much better than it is now. which is crazy because that's when I first started. And I remember going viral like 3 times in 2 weeks. And the videos were rubbish, absolutely rubbish. Like, it was so easy to go viral.
Yeah.
So I've never had a strategy. It was so addictive. Like, I just constantly wanted to post because I kept getting so much back. Yeah. And obviously now it's just a routine. Like, I'm so used to it. I won't be able to, even if I didn't have a business, I won't be able to not use the app because I'm just so used to going on it. Yeah. But no, I've never had a strategy ever. No. I've just kind of gone with the flow and just kept an eye on what does do good. Obviously now I'm full-time. I've only been full-time since September. So yeah. I would say from September properly, I have been looking at what does good and what doesn't and what I say, and do you know what I mean? And really taking into consideration what I am posting a lot more than what I used to. But I know what works and what doesn't, but I wouldn't say I still don't have a strategy in place, to be honest.
We obviously preach that you should have a strategy to all of like followers and things like that. But even, you know, you're saying, oh, we don't have a strategy, but you're still checking what works, recreating what does work.
Yeah.
Don't work, you might push to the side and maybe stop doing those a little bit. So even taking those into consideration and kind of, you know, thinking about what you're posting, in a sense, you have got some sort of strategy because you know what you want to put out there. Lisa said, I want TikTok Shop, but have no clue. I've been selected to have TikTok Shop. So we do talk a lot about TikTok Shop on our page, and we also kind of do dedicated lives for different things. So if you want, we can do a dedicated TikTok Shop live, but it is pretty, you know, it's not the easiest thing to set up, but once you have set up, it is definitely worth it. Trying to know you guys set up for TikTok Shop, and do you want to kind of talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so we've been doing, I'm positive, TikTok Shop since it first started, which was like the beginning of last year, something like that. And it was really easy to set up then. It's very different now because I get people message me a lot like, how do you set it up? I don't know, because when I first set it up, my manager did it all for me. And when I've added new products now, I'm like, I have absolutely no idea because it asks for all these things and you've got to put it in the correct category where you didn't have to do that when I first started. So it's very different now. It's a lot more stressful than when I started. But yeah, TikTok Shop's great. I actually had an issue with TikTok Shop this weekend where they removed my main product, my safety set, because it wasn't in the right category. It's been set up like that since day one, and all of a sudden they've taken it off and said it's not in the right category. And ever since they removed that, I didn't have a single sale all weekend because they removed my best product, which has all my reviews on. It has how many I've sold. They removed it. And I was thinking, oh, everyone's going to go online and order instead. No, no one did. I didn't get anything all weekend, and I was just like, oh my God, I'm going to have to get it back. So it just shows how people seem to think that if you don't have it, they'll redirect it to online, but it doesn't always work like that. The thing is with TikTok Shop, it's like Amazon. So you just add it to your basket, double click, Apple Pay, and it's done it as quick as Amazon, where it's not like that all the time when you go online. You've got to enter all your details again. And so it's definitely beneficial. Not only that as well, I've noticed that TikTok tend to boost your videos more when you have TikTok Shop. So I had my items off at Christmas, and when I turned it all back on again, it went crazy. And all these followers and sales came from nowhere. I hadn't even posted yet. I'd only turned everything back on. And TikTok had boosted it. They boosted my safety sets because I had so many comments from people saying, why have I just seen a video of some woman terrified walking on her own, and then your video comes next? And it's because they'd automatically boosted the product through TikTok. So you actually get a lot from it in terms of it being attached to your video, but then also boosting it as well.
Yeah, Pugs and Pencil said, I think I need to bite the bullet with TikTok Shop. Yeah, definitely do set it up. It is worth it once it is set up. Like Shannon just said, you know, she's had a huge impact from TikTok Shop, and I think the main thing with it is the convenience from a consumer perspective. All they have to do is tap a button on your video. It's so easy for them to input their details and have that product with them in the next week or so. So, you know, it avoids having to go elsewhere to your website finding like, you know, the product. It's just so simple. So definitely try and set it up if you're eligible to. Have you got any struggles that you particularly face with TikTok? And if so, what are they, and how have you kind of like came around?
So definitely TikTok Shop.
Yeah.
In regards to when they remove the products on the weekend, and how difficult it is to set up now, because I'm launching brand new products next month, and I'm crapping it because I've got so many new products that I'm going to have to individually list, and I'm just like, oh my god. But I don't know if other people have been assigned a TikTok manager when they set up. I don't know if that's
So I think
it's just
the main thing with like an account manager for TikTok is they'll reach out to you if you have a video that's successful with, you know, a product.
Oh, right, okay.
That's kind of what we found with clients and followers. Love Writing Co said we were assigned an account manager a year into TikTok, but we no longer work with them. Yeah, and that's what we found as well. So the account managers will kind of dip in at the beginning, help for any initial questions, help set up things, and then once you're kind of comfortable with it, they kind of move on.
Yeah, so I had one from day one. I didn't know how it works with other people, because I always say to people, "Oh, you should have a manager," and they're all like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, well, "You should, shouldn't you?" Because I did from day one. I don't know how I got one from day one, but I mean, I've had two now. We don't really ever speak, but this weekend just gone, if I hadn't have been able to message you, I don't know what I would have done. So I kind of only reach out when I've got little issues and I genuinely don't know what to do. But yeah, apart from that, I think I've only ever spoke to him like a couple of times.
Yeah, I mean, they are definitely handy to have, but you tend now to have to wait until they reach out to you. Can you go live when you have a shop? Yes, you can. You can set your products up on like a TikTok live shopping, so whilst you're live, people can directly buy the products that you're talking about. It's definitely a really good strategy that we will be talking about in a moment. And also, any tips for someone who's thinking of starting a business? I'm struggling. Kind of maybe first consider where, you know, what type of business you want to work in and why. You know, having a why is really important. Shannon, being a business owner, have you got any kind of advice for that one?
I just always say do something that you're passionate about, rather, because a lot of people like the thought of having a business and working for yourself, but it's not just all about that. From my point of view, I mean, I didn't start with what I'm doing now. I started making resin jewellery because that's the video that I saw, and I thought, well, that's what I want to do. So I didn't even start with this, but I would say mental health has always been at the back of my brain in what could I do. So definitely, if you do something that you actually enjoy or you've got a passion about, it makes it so much easier. It's like for me with my videos, I think they do so well because the majority of my followers know why I'm talking about what. Do you know what I mean? They know that not only am I selling a product, I actually use it myself. Like I am invested exactly in what I do. So I think definitely choosing something that you are passionate about, it makes it easier, and it makes it, I think, when you come across, especially on TikTok, because it's important that your face is on your videos and you are going live, that when you come across genuine, that you actually love what you're doing, it comes across to the customers and they love it as well. So I think that's really important.
Virtual Success VA said, "Hi, I'm on less than 1K. Any tips to advertise without a link?" This is a big one that we get quite a bit. Obviously, having 1,000 followers is, you know, should be kind of the main goal when you start an account, to get that website link in your bio and to start going live and things like that. So just trying to create as much content that's kind of, you know, high quality. Obviously, you don't have to post every day or anything like that, but being consistent and trying to post good quality posts for that first period of time. And maybe kind of once you post your first 20 videos, for example, analyze those, find what's worked best for you in the past and recreate those best performing videos. I think typically you are able to kind of hit that 1K mark quite quickly if you kind of put a little bit more time and effort into it at the very beginning. And then once you do have 1K followers, you can then go live and things like that to keep the community growth going. So just kind of posting for the brand awareness side of things to start with, sharing your products, sharing stories about your brand, things like that. If you're a business account and do the registration, you can get the link straight away. Yes, that's also true. We have had a few businesses that have not been able to access that link in bio even with the registration, but some accounts do. So definitely try and register your business. I have a small business, one video blows up and the rest don't. Any tips? Shannon, have you got any tips for this?
Well, why is it blown up? What are you talking about? For me, if I don't talk about my safety sets, the videos don't go anywhere. So it's really, it's about why is it blown up? Is it what you've said? Are you close to the camera? Like for me, when I'm quite close to the camera and my first line is something like, do you, or, you know, when I'm specifically talking to my audience, those videos always do well. So in terms of if it's blowing up, why? Just ask yourself why. For me as well, I don't know why I'm laughing, but I have another TikTok account, my backup one, and I don't know why I do it, but it's just so I take it seriously. I log into it and then I go on to my TikTok on this one and I look at the videos like I'm someone else. I can just sit and look at them on my own account. I don't need to log into the other one, but I like to do it properly. And I sit and think, well, is that interesting? Like, did I enjoy that video realistically, pretending I'm someone else? And if I didn't, then I like to think in my head, well, what, do you know what I mean? And think about why. So I guess taking a backseat and thinking about your videos, but then also thinking about, well, why is it blown up?
Yeah, definitely. And I think the fact that you know exactly what does work, like you've just been able to straight away say, you know, when you're up close, you directly address the audience. Yeah. That's what everyone should aspire to be. You should know what's going to work and what won't.
Yeah.
And obviously that all that takes is trial and error. Practice makes perfect. The more that you post, the more that you analyse, eventually you'll kind of work out what works best for you. So what's one of your main tips for converting your audience into actual followers? So when people are scrolling the For You page, how do you then convert them into becoming a follower?
I think for me, obviously I'm a business, but I also want to, and I think I have quite successfully created a community for people that have been through trauma as a child, or so my business is specifically obviously mental health, but I talk about my own experiences as a child, what I've been through as an adult. So for me, I think people follow me because they've either been in a similar situation or they know people that have been in a similar situation. So the videos that I create relate to them, whether it's to do with anxiety or any struggles, because I'm very open about what I've been through and the fact that I was on medication. So I've had people, you know, message me about medication that they've been on. Do you know what I mean? So I've created a community where anyone can join. It doesn't matter what you've been through in life. Like, you are accepted in the bubble that I've created. So I think for me, in terms of followers, it's just because people relate, or they just, you know, they're interested, they want to know more. And I'm guessing that's, people have said to me that is why, but I'm guessing that's why the majority.
And that's amazing, and it's something that we always say. You know, community, for obviously it is a strong thing for your kind of, for your products and brand, but in general as well, in order to be successful, you do need that community, and you do need, you know, you should aim to have that community instead of focusing on your views or your likes and followers. Focus on community. You'll achieve those metrics without trying to, because you've kind of got that close connection with people then. So whilst everyone's talking about lives and shop, what's your kind of opinion on going live on TikTok? How often do you go live? How do you try and, you know, build that community through going live?
I've pretty much always gone live. I remember my first ever live, I wouldn't even show my face. I was literally shaking, and it was only like a minute long. I was like, I can't do it. And then eventually I showed my face. It took me a while. Obviously it doesn't bother me now. And people say to me, you know, how do you do it? It just takes time. Like, it is, it's terrifying. It's like doing a presentation in front of loads of people. Like, you just don't want to do it, but eventually you get used to it. So I've done it quite a while, and it's really important because, especially now, while I work on my own currently, I'm a very chatty person. Like, the jobs I've always done have always been very people orientated. So, and I said last year I would never go full time with the business because I wouldn't be able to deal being on my own. So going from a very chatty job, because I would see new people every day at my old job, and I thought going from that to being on my own, I'm not going to be able to do it. And I kind of realised that I'm not on my own because I'm going live. So it's really important for your community, for my mental health, it's really important because I'm a people person. If I don't go live all day, because some days I just don't feel like it, and I come in here, I think I'm not going to go live because I'm not in a good mood, so I'm not going to do it, and I can't not do it. By 12, I have to come live, and instantly I'll be like, look, I'm not in a good mood, but I'm live because I'm lonely and I don't know what to do with myself. It doesn't feel right now when I don't go live, but I think it's really good for showing products as well. So new people that come in and say, oh, what is the safety set like? What is on there? What do you get? Or can I see a scrunchie or any products like that? It's good for showing products as well. And new people coming on and asking questions. And not only that as well, we talk about our normal lives on TikTok as well, and what we've been up to or what we're struggling with at the moment, or any questions or anything like that. And other businesses asking questions as well. And I think specifically my live, and I think why mine do quite well, I don't put no pressure on no one. I don't stand there and say, do this, do that, tap the screen. Occasionally I'll do it, but I cringe. I don't like being like, come on guys. And I think there's quite a few sides of TikTok. There's the influencers and the certain people that, want gifts, and I'm not. No. You're not pressured into doing anything. Like, if you just want to come and talk to me and you don't want to purchase, you don't have to. Yeah. Like, I appreciate people talking to me and telling me about their day as well. So I think a lot of people like how easygoing it is, and we'll have a laugh, and sometimes I'll turn the music on and be stupid, and it's not serious. Like, I do it because I enjoy doing it, and it's fun for me, and people like to watch and find it therapeutic. So in specific for me, it's just there's no pressure to them. Yeah. And you see loads of people's lives are different, so I don't like to, but I will flick through and just have a watch of other people's lives and just analyse. Yeah. And I'm like, oh God, no, I can't.
Everyone's always got like different styles and things, but I think you sound quite similar to me. And when me and Callum go live, we go live every Thursday. Callum is the CEO of Morgan Brandon, and we just go on, chat. We're not like, everyone needs to follow us. Everyone needs to go and shop for, get a strategy call off us. We're just like chatting and answering questions, speaking to, potential followers, customers, audience, everyone. And that's kind of, I think it works best because you're able to actually build connections with people instead of trying to tell people what to do and, where to go. Yeah. Is there anyone you can message to get help with starting a business? Once you know kind of what area you want to go in, obviously you can reach out to people like us, Callum, who's our CEO. He have like lots of tips on that because he's got a business. I'm sure Shannon's got tips on that. Obviously, I don't have my own business because I just work for Morgan Brandon. Shannon, have you got any tips on that?
I think maybe check your local area as well, because specifically to me, we have a place called the Business Hive, and they help start up businesses. You can get loans and advice, and you can attend workshops, which is something that I did, and I met other small businesses through it as well. So just maybe have a look if there's any support in your area, because it's usually free. So it was government funded, what was in my area. I know not everyone has that, but it's definitely nice to have support face to face. And maybe just reaching out to other businesses as well. Sometimes you find support on others. Not everyone will be willing to give you the support, trust me. And don't get me wrong, there's some things that I wouldn't talk about just because they're sacred to me, but there's definitely people out there that would give you advice or would help you. Yeah. But definitely in your local area, because they're literally being paid to help you. So
yeah, I think we've got one in Manchester at Growth Hub, I think, which is like fully funded. We've done a few talks there, and just kind of finding those opportunities, the free kind of things that you can join a community, get to know the other startups, and there is always loads of people with advice in those type of scenarios. Mother cup of tea. What times work best for your lives? So for us, we kind of typically go live around lunchtime each week, or kind of felt 4 o'clock-ish. But we haven't done a huge, great deal of testing. I think it is kind of trial and error. Shannon, obviously you go live quite often, so have you found any kind of difference in posting times and going live times?
Yes, definitely. So usually I go live Monday to Friday. I'll occasionally not go live one day if I'm doing something. Usually between 9:30 and 10. It depends when it's warm in here. I'll sit and wait till it's warm before I go live. So about 9:30 to 10 till probably dinner time, so 12-ish, 12:30. And I found that if I go live at a different time, it's not very busy. I don't know if that's because people are expecting me to go live at that time, but in my opinion, the best time to go live is either the weekend or a night time. I mean, I go live on Monday nights. I haven't in January because it's just not busy enough, but usually I do every Monday night. I don't do weekends because I like my weekends off, but this is just from what I've seen from other businesses that go live on the weekend and on the night time, because, people are at work, and so that is probably the best time to go live, but it's not, for me, it's not in I like to do like 9 to 5, Monday to Friday, because
exactly.
That's kind of Monday nights.
Yeah, same with us. Obviously, working in an agency, we typically try and do 9 to 5, but when we do see other businesses going live in the evening, 6, 7, people are just sat at home, might be in bed scrolling on the couch, so kind of think about that. But I think my biggest piece of advice for that would be to just test different times and find what works best for you, because I do think it is kind of an individual thing. And I also think when you've got a bit of a set routine, so if your audience know that you go live every Wednesday at 4 o'clock, people will start to expect you at that time, and you'll be able to kind of grow that following up and get more and more people on the lives as well. So definitely kind of trial and error a little bit. What is the best way to structure a TikTok live for our jewellery business? So this kind of leads me on to my next question for Shannon. There are obviously a lot of different things you can do on lives. You can package orders, you can do games like refund and order competition, spin to win, things like that kind of get people interactive and engaged. So have you got any styles of going live that you like to do or that works well for you?
So before Christmas, on a Monday night, we used to do £15 lucky dips, but you've got to be very careful with things like that because TikTok class it as gambling. Right. So if you get caught doing that, then I don't want to know what they will do, but to me it would look like they might suspend your life for a little bit. So we did used to do the £15 lucky dips on a Monday night, and people would specifically come on Monday nights because they knew that's what I was doing. I've got a prize drop board. It's got 4 slots, and you put a coin in. Whichever one it lands on is one of the prizes, which is fun. But if I'm honest, usually I just pack orders. People tend to like if you say order now and I'll package it on the live. Quite a lot of people like to see their orders packed live, so that's a good one that you can just implement on every live anyways. But games is 50-50 because I don't know what you are and aren't allowed to do at the moment, so I don't want to say do that and then you get into trouble for it.
They can be a bit difficult.
Yes.
And there is a fine line as well, because, you see so many people going live and doing different games, which some people do get removed for and banned. So just making sure that you are careful and do kind of maybe read up on the community guidelines, so you've got a knowledge yourself of what you can and can't do in a way. But specific for jewellery, I would say packaging orders, maybe showing like gift guides. So with Valentine's Day coming up, you might want to do some gift type of lives, and even doing things like Q&As and just talking videos where you're chatting. You could be packaging and you could be sharing, your expertise and tips on things like styling jewellery. You could do things about how to clean jewellery or to prevent tarnishing. Just kind of different topics that you can consistently talk about. But I think the games, even though they can be a bit risky, but things that are like standard, spin to win, things like that do tend to be okay. So maybe doing like things like spin to win, packaging orders like that people have purchased, and kind of offering like freebies in the lives. TikTok shops sometimes do exclusive discounts and things like that, so seeing what they've got going on as well is great. So yeah, TikTok don't like you promoting other apps. If you mention other apps, don't do it too much. Yeah, they definitely obviously focus on TikTok and want to kind of push TikTok, so making sure that you are focusing on TikTok related things. So you've got a range of videos that have reached over 1 million views. So what is kind of your biggest tip for kind of getting those viral numbers? Although we don't always recommend focusing on the virality, but as a whole, people do like the numbers and things like that. So what's your kind of main tip for those viral videos?
Don't do anything that is not related to your business account. And when I say that, because I'm silly, last summer uploaded a video about Smart Price tuna and an Asda tuna, and that they were the same thing, and it got to 1.6 million. And it was not a very good idea because it brought a lot of negativity to my account. I got no orders from it. I just got trolls for about 2 weeks. So I don't even know why I uploaded it. I think any tip for any business, don't upload anything that isn't to do with your business. And I've learned from that now, because I was just obsessed with TikTok and just thought, I just want to post.
Yeah.
But don't post anything that isn't, and always take into consideration that any video can go viral even months and months after you've posted it. I had a video that was stuck at 1,000 views, and it was like months ago when I posted it, and all of a sudden it blew up to like 500,000 because people were engaging with it, and then it just blew out of control. So definitely don't post anything that isn't, because sometimes those are the videos that go a bit, and it's not what you want to your page, put it that way. But yeah, like we said, just looking at what videos do well, those are probably the ones that are going to eventually go viral. The thing is, now on TikTok, it's so much harder to go viral now than it used to be. And this is why I say to people all the time, if you haven't set up on TikTok, you need to do it, because the more the months go by, the even harder it is, because all the massive companies are on here now. They was never on here when I started.
Yeah.
I saw Gymshark on live last week. I was like, where have they come from? And My Protein and all these massive companies that have already got their status, and all these people are going to them, and you feel like you're being forgotten about. So you kind of need to get on here even soon. Do you know what I mean? Because the more you leave it, the harder it's going to be on here, in my opinion, anyway.
Yeah. So that's a message to anyone watching who has got a business but has not got a TikTok for your business yet. Make sure that you make one and start posting as soon as possible. But yeah, going from what you said about going viral for the wrong reasons, that is something that we have seen a lot of, and it is important to remember that views don't equal sales or don't equal success. Views are views. No. So when you are creating content with the aim of generating sales or creating those custom connections, those videos don't have to go viral. It could have 1,000 views and you could generate 5 sales from that. Or you could get 1 million views and generate no sales. So you have to really be strategic and think about what you're posting and how it actually affects your business. Yeah. Also thinking about what you actually want people to do when you go, if you go viral. So you've got 1 million views on a product video, and you've got all this huge new audience. What do you want them to do? Is it clear on your page what you sell? How can they how can they shop the products? What videos have you got pinned? Are they going to try and convert that potential customer into a buying customer? Think about those different aspects of your page in case you do go viral, to make sure that you've got the potential to convert once you do. Josh said, do you have any tips for businesses that offer service? So we are obviously a service-based business. So what we do on lives, we go live on Thursday every week doing a Q&A or a specific topic video topic live. So like on Thursday coming up, we're going to be doing 10 10 TikTok strategy tips or something like that. Last week was 10 ways to optimize your profile. So having specific topics that you can consistently talk about, or doing things like this and collaborating with other people. And yeah, you can still kind of do the same competitions and things like that, obviously without packaging videos. But you can do things like spin to win and things like that, offering discount codes. So there is quite a lot of crossover really, just without the packaging side of things. I want to start a business, but I don't know how to get the products without spending a lot, I think. Obviously, in order to have a business, you obviously need to invest in products to begin with the hope of making that money back in the future and things like that. But if you've kind of, you do need to put yourself in that vulnerable position to buy those products to kind of get started. So maybe just have a look for different alternatives. Have a think about what you want to focus on. Is it, quality? If so, you might need a more expensive product. Or are you focusing on kind of maybe less quality but more quantity? Thinking about different aspects like that. What tips do you have for service-based business and not products, and how to build that engagement? For service-based business, obviously that is completely what we do at Morgan Branding. We're a marketing agency focusing on TikTok. So everything that we post is specifically educational mainly. So we educate people through our profile, and that's kind of what we're doing here. We're educating by sharing tips. We've got Shannon on to share her tips. But yeah, educate whilst being engaging as well. So hopping on different trends and things like that, but really trying to build a community by providing valuable information. So next question for Shan is, how do you come up with content ideas? How do you kind of plan out your videos?
To be honest, people always say to me, like, what content do I post? And my head is just like, there's so much you can post. If I get a delivery coming, I make a video. All of my new stuff I haven't released. Well, I've released little things, but not very much. I've recorded my reaction to me seeing the new stuff. I've got about 24 drafts ready of my initial reaction to seeing it for the first time, because people love stuff like that. I mean, I've cried like 3 times, but it's an amazing video. Like, everybody's seeing it for the first time, but I'm also seeing it for the first time as well. So we're experiencing it together.
Yeah.
I always say anything that's business related. Even like last year, I went and did the treetop thing at Go 8, and I posted that, but I said it was my weekend break from work, and this is what I do to de-stress after a busy week. I've gone and done this. I like active things. It's good for mental health, being outside. So anything that is related to your business, you can post. Literally anything. Packing an order. Sometimes I like to do, if someone's done an abandoned checkout, I'll choose someone at random and send that item to them. That's a really good one. Putting freebies in people's orders, when orders come, anything that's happened last week, or it might have been the week before, I was locked out of my unit because the key had gone rusty. And I posted, I was like, I'm outside my unit, I can't get in. And everyone was commenting like, try this, try that. But it's business related, but it's just content. Like, people, you have to remember, people want to know what you're doing. Like, if they like you and they like your business, they want to know what you're up to. So what are you doing? But yeah, when people ask me that, I'm like, oh my God, there's so much. And I say, what did you do yesterday? There was like, I got some new stuff. Did you record it? No. Why? Why didn't you record it? You should have recorded that you've got some new stuff. Like, people want to know what you're doing. So in terms of content, I just film everything. Like, I have a lot of videos in the draft that I probably won't use now because they're from Christmas, but they were still there if I needed to use them. And even when I've been poorly, like 2 weeks ago I was poorly, and I videoed myself in my pajamas in bed and was like, look, I'm not very well. I don't usually post videos like this, but just to give you an update. So even still creating content when I'm feeling like crap and I'm in bed, like, there's just film everything. Even if you don't use it, still film it. Like when I got my new neon sign, I filmed it and everyone loved it. Just film it.
And even if you record like on the camera, not necessarily in TikTok, if you record, things like packaging, unboxing, reactions, you can reuse that raw footage, but in different ways. You could do one, you know, with a voiceover sharing, you know, what you're packaging. You could use the exact same packaging video, but with like trends, you know, you can really do a lot of different things. Talking videos, trends, you know, there is so many different things that you can do. Even like video replying to comments. If you've got a question, video replying to that, because odds are if someone's asked it, other people want to know. And yeah, I think like people often struggle with coming up with those content ideas, but you've just hit the nail on the head. And you know, if you're documenting your business and your life, and you're thinking about what your customers would want to see, and you know how you can relate that to things like mental health, like, you know, within your niche, you know there is just so much possibilities and so much content that people can create. So yeah, get a tripod and just film, and I'm sure you'll be able to create something. So how do you use TikTok to generate traffic to your website, or do you predominantly get your custom through TikTok Shop?
So there is some items that I sell just online, and I'm saying that because I'm so used to not saying the W word. Like I can't, even if I'm on like a Teams call with someone, they're like, "What do you mean?" And I'm like, "You know what I mean, but I'm not saying it because I'm so used to." I say online. We use online in our chat. So I have stuff specifically online that I don't have in TikTok Shop. A prime example of that is we sell a criminal identifier spray. Now, it's a red food dye. It's fully legal in the UK, but my TikTok manager has basically said, because I've been like, I want to get it on TikTok, they've classed it as a pepper spray. So it's in that category of illegal aerosol. So I can't physically get it on TikTok Shop, so I specifically have products on there, so people will purchase on there because they want those products, but I don't necessarily advertise both. If I do a video and a product is involved, then I'll automatically tag it. But people purchase from both. The thing is with TikTok is people know that it's every shipping, and online they know it's Royal Mail, so it's usually a case of, well, which one do they want it to be shipped with, and which one is it available on. So that's usually, I don't mind which one people purchase on. It doesn't really make any difference to me.
Hilton Hill Farm said, I'm having issues building my lives. I've only done a few and still a little camera shy. Any tips? So we were kind of saying before about being camera shy, and the first few lives can be a bit daunting, and you know, you come on the screen and you're thinking, what am I going to say? You know, no one's even watching. How do I start this? But my biggest piece of advice would be, have an idea of what you want to do within that live. So it could just be packaging orders. It could be talking about a very specific topic, and kind of having an idea of what you want to do, so you at least know how to, you know, start the live and start chatting. But yeah, pretend, this is what I do, pretend you're on FaceTime to like a friend or to a family member, and just start chatting. And the more that you do it, the easier it becomes. But that's what I even sometimes, my dad sometimes joins our lives, and so I'll be like, I'm just chatting to my dad's here, so I'm just chatting to my dad, and you know, other people are watching as well. But you know, you kind of have to make it not feel as daunting in those first few weeks. But the more that you do try, it does become easier, and you will feel a little bit more comfortable. Have you got anything else to elaborate on that?
I would just say, because usually on a night time when I'm not working, I'll watch people's lives just for the business, like just to see what other people do, and just kind of, sometimes I go on people's live and I just give them a bit of advice as well. When I can see that someone's really struggling and there's only like 2 or 3 of us here, it's literally like you sat watching someone who's so awkward and you just don't know what to do. But people will happily sit and watch you if you're awkward and you don't know what to do with yourself. They will happily sit and watch that awkwardness. It's quite strange actually, but my best bit of advice, if you are struggling, is if you've got a family or friend, or you've got someone that you've met on TikTok who buys from you, ask them to come into the live and talk to you. Like, even say, I will give you some freebies if you come on for 2 hours. I'm going to go live 6 to 8, come on and talk to me and I'll give you some freebies for it. Because if you're having a conversation with someone, more than likely someone else wants to chip in and it's like, oh, I did that the other day. And before you know it, you've grown a little, you know, a little community of people that come onto your live every time because they like the topic of conversation. Or so maybe just see if there is someone that will come on the live and chat to you, because there's nothing worse than having like 1 or 2 people just flickering in and out and you don't know what to do with yourself, and you're having to start the conversation again because there's 2 new people. I've been there. The thing is, it's just consistency. Nothing's ever going to happen overnight, and I've seen some people that it has happened overnight, but realistically it doesn't really work like that. Like, it took me months to get comfortable to be on a live for a couple of hours. It just takes consistency. Like, if you want it to happen, you'll make it happen.
We've had like members of the team, you know, come onto the live and monitor it. If we get any hate, we'll set them as a moderator. They can remove that. And if no questions are coming in and we're like, anyone got any questions? You know, one of the team will say, how do you set up a TikTok? And, you know, we can just start chatting. And then, as you said, more and more people start chipping in. And then you see the views start going up, the interaction increases. So you just sometimes need that little push of one person. And you can just start from there. Relationship coach said, when you're first starting out on lives, do you need a green screen with what you'll talk about? So we've kind of got this like graphic, which is, you know, showing people that it's an episode of Spill on the TikTok Tea. We've got the title, so that's kind of one way you can do it, so people do know what the live is about when they're scrolling the For You page. But this is something that we've only very recently started doing, and we've been on TikTok now for 2 years as well. So it's kind of you know, if you want to, you can. If you don't want to, you don't have to. I think it's a good way to get people in the lives, and, you know, obviously it shows people exactly what you want. You know, it shows people who should be joining. So for us, people who want to learn how to grow on TikTok can then join. But it's definitely not essential. And if you're kind of packaging orders and things like that, I think people kind of know what you're doing anyway without a graphic. Our last question is, what is your #1 TikTok secret or tip for success for small businesses that are watching?
I was thinking about this morning. I was in my car. Do you know when you're having a bit of a rant to yourself? I was like, well, what is it? Because what would I say? But don't use excuses not to do anything. And I only say that because when I have spoken to other businesses and they'll say to me, you know, how do you get sales? How do you grow? And I'll say, what have you done in the last week? And they'll go, oh, I couldn't do anything because I was at my other job and one of the kids were poorly. And I know it sounds awful and I hate saying it, but I see that as an excuse, because I know a lot of people that have got other jobs, got kids, and are still building a successful business and have managed to leave, etc. I had a full-time job and I still went live most days, and I worked on the weekend as well. Like, having a business is about sacrifice, it's about consistency, it's about showing up. And I think if you are constantly making excuses as to why you can't do something, then maybe it's not for you, because having a business is not for everyone. And I think, like I said earlier, a lot of people like the idea of having a business, but it's not for everyone. And I think not having excuses, because if I make an excuse in my head, I'm like, no, and I'll turn myself out in it and be like, no, you know, because I haven't been going live on a Monday night because it's January and it's not very busy, but I've still been at home and I've still been working, just not live, but on something else. And even when I'm poorly, I still work. Like, I think not to use excuses, because that's a bad habit. In my opinion, I would say that would be at the top of the list. Yeah, no, because I hear it all the time and I'm like, oh.
Yeah, Callum has said, as Queen Molly would say, 24 hours in a day. That's not a dig at Molly. I love Molly May. Callum knows. Molly May, if you're watching, please come work with us. But yeah, I completely agree with that. I think, you know, you do need to sacrifice, like you said, being a business owner. It's about that sacrifice. It's thinking about it being an investment of your time, not necessarily something that, you know, that's a drag and that you can't be bothered with. You need to invest your time in different ways to grow that business up. So to end the live, we've got a little quick fire round. Okay, so #1, favorite app for editing TikToks?
Oh, if I'm quite lazy, I do film on TikTok.
Good answer.
I need to stop doing that though. But I honestly do film on TikTok, and I do film on TikTok and I post on other places. Save the TikTok with the watermark. It's so bad. I'm so bad for that. But I do use I want to say it's yes. I was going to say it's Stripe, but that's a bloody money app thing. Yeah, no, it is that. I do use that.
Splice and CapCut are the two that I like. So yeah, for anyone watching, they're two good ones. Favorite TikTok trend?
The thing is, I haven't done a trend for ages, because I always post my own I used to at the beginning.
Any like hypes that, like if I was asking Callum, I know Callum's answer would be the Binley Mega Chippy. Like he was obsessed with that.
Oh yeah, that was good for businesses. That was, and a lot of people were doing reviews after and being like, it's not even that good. Yeah, I guess I never used it, but that was clever. It was very clever, and I saw other places trying to copy and it just did not work.
It didn't work.
Yeah, let's go with that one
then. Question number 4, paid or organic social media? So like paid ads or just posting?
So I have never paid for anything on TikTok. I have attempted, but to pay for on TikTok, you have to pay via coins. So you can't just, like in IG, I don't know where to say it then, I can't say it, but I do pay for ads on there. I usually do 2 a month. A couple of £100 at a time, but I think it's just because of the followers that I've got and the engagement that I get. I don't personally pay. I do know businesses that can't remember, she does lashes, she's got like 320k or something. I know that they do a lot because I see it constantly, but because you have to pay in the coins and you can't just, sometimes you have to pay more than what do you know what I mean, you need to, because to get the right amount of coins, it just puts me off.
Yeah,
I think if you could pay directly with cash for the ad that you wanted, like you can on IG, I probably would do it more, but I just haven't. In terms of Facebook, I hate it. I hate Facebook. I just think I don't like to say it's just dead, but it is. So I always do it on IG. I just don't do it anywhere else.
Yeah, we're kind of the same. Like, well, we don't really do paid ads, but with TikTok, we just kind of focus 100% on organic content and think you can achieve what you want to achieve through organic. Callum said, I think you can pay with money through TikTok ads manager, not through the app, which is annoying.
You just get so much exposure from the app though, so it kind of feels like you just don't want to part with your money because it already does so well for you anyways. For me on TikTok, it's very organic, but I work with a lot of influencers as well, so I just, whereas IG, it's not really the same, and I only really grow on there from anyone that comes from here onto there, which doesn't really, it's not very much, but I only really grow on there from the ads that I do. So I think if I was smaller, I would probably look into it more, but it's just about finding what works for you. And obviously people who have just started out don't have the money or are scared about ads and don't know if it's going to benefit them from the beginning anyways, because I definitely was one of those people.
Yeah, definitely. Question 5, IG or TikTok?
TikTok. Well, I've just lost my Instagram account. I lost it the day before New Year's. They've closed it down and they've told me I'll never be able to get it back. It's permanently deleted. So I've had to start again. So I'd get rid of that if I could. Yeah. Obviously I can't because I got to be visible, but I hate that app at the moment. I'm very cross with it. So 100% TikTok anyways. So
what is your number 1 tip for selling on TikTok?
TikTok shop and being yourself. Don't mold yourself into what you think people want you to see, because people will see straight through it. Just be yourself. And not only that, if you're thinking about I can't even get my words out, consistently posting and going live, people will start to notice if you start to change. What people see of me is exactly how I am in real life. Like, I am not no different. The things that I say, the way that I act, it is me. So just be yourself. I think that's very important. It's very apparent when someone's not being themselves, in my opinion.
Yeah. What is one piece of advice? I feel like you've probably already answered this, but one piece of advice in general, like not related to TikTok, just one piece of advice for a small business trying to grow their business?
Yeah, like I said, just finding the reason as to why you want to do it. Some people openly say, because I want to make money, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with saying that. But I think finding the main reason as to why you want to do it, like obviously for me, selling products is very important. I need to be able to pay myself. I need to be able to pay the unit. But providing that's done, I'm very happy with my community. I'm very happy with the engagement, and because I've made so many friends off here, people that actually message me on my own private accounts, you know, I've made friends from, and, you know, I've had people that have messaged me and said, you've helped me so much and to develop as a person. So I think finding that number one reason as to why you're doing it is so important, because that's definitely what's helped me and what keeps me going.
Yeah.
When I'm having a bad day, when I come live, it's the people that have supported me since, not even just day one, but, you know, since they found me, they're the ones that pick me up when I'm having a bad day. It's not even family and friends sometimes. It's genuinely the people that come on my live and engage with me. So, but that's what's important to me.
Favourite product of your own?
Is it bad if I say it's one of my new products, but I can't mention it?
No, keep on the toes, that's okay.
Yeah, I would say it was one of my new ones, if I'm honest. I worked so hard last year. Like, I did wholesale products and all sorts to get the money towards what I wanted Get Personal to look like. Yeah. So last year was a bit of all sorts, to be honest. And I said next year is going to be the year where it looks like how I want it to look like. And another thing as well is you have constant insecurity because the business doesn't always look like how you envision it to look like, because of money, because of time. And I think once it gets to a point where it starts to shape into what you firstly saw it as, that's when, for me. But it's definitely a new product, but obviously I can't say it, so I'm definitely not saying that here.
Follow Shannon and keep an eye out. Yeah, excited to see. So our last quick fire question is, can you name a small business that you would recommend, someone that you shop from and that you'd recommend their products?
Oh God, loads. Obviously we stock small business products, so absolutely loads. Northumberland Candle Co, we've got their meditation boxes at the moment. Luna and Wild does crystals. Mrs. F Fabulous Fizzles, that's on here now, her bath bombs. If you've tried shop bath bombs and you try hers, incredible. Like, your baths will amazing. There's loads. Her bath bombs, we used her for Halloween and Christmas, and the amount of messages that we had from people saying they smell incredible. There's loads. Honestly, there's loads.
Well, that is all of the questions. So thank you so much for joining and for giving all of your tips to everyone. Thank you so much, Shannon. If you're not already, go and check Shannon's page out, Get Personal. And we are Morgan Branding. For those that don't know, we're a marketing agency focusing mainly on TikTok. We post daily tips on how you can grow your business using TikTok. Thank you all very much for joining. We'll log off now. So I hope everyone has a lovely day and enjoys the rest of the week. See you later.